People in the community are absolutely shocked over something that Jimin did. There's an alleged clip that JK was seen with another woman outside of his apartment, and then we have JK and Winter allegedly being believed to be texting each other. So hey dumplings, it's Dave Desai, let's get into it. People were talking about a photo or two that showed JK and Winter on their phone. This is by far one of the most ridiculous rumors I've ever seen of them, as the rumor centers around just them being on their phone, as in like they're all on their phone all the time because they're texting each other. Both Winter and JK, they're their own businessmen. They are also self-employed. They need to have people that they have to talk to, either their manager, people at the label, or other employees of other business endeavors that they might have. But on top of that, two people just texting on the phone repeatedly does not mean that they're texting each other. There's also several rumors that state that Winter and JK have been dating for several years. I don't personally know if any of these people have ever been in a relationship before, but if you're in a relationship for several years with a person, even if you're doing long distance, you're not texting them 24/7 like you would when you first started dating them. You might do check-ins throughout the day if you're someone who wants to do that, or you and your partner just like to communicate like that. But typically at the end of the day, you'll get on the phone and chat with each other or a video call or something and find time to do that. Again, if you're doing long distance. I think what irks me the most about some of these dating rumors is the assumption that JK would essentially be a little baby around Winter or any potential partner, that he just wouldn't be able to control himself. He would fiend over her so much and he would just bow down to her knees and just worship her. When in reality, if you actually think about it, is that something he would do? He is kind, but he's not a pushover. He's smart and one of the most successful men out there. He definitely would be more so considered an alpha male than he would be considered someone that would bow down to anybody, let alone a romantic partner. I think what bothers me the most here is the belief that he would just become a baby around someone that he is just now dating. And that's just not how dating is. And even if that is the case for the first few months of dating someone, it won't be the case for several years into the relationship. Of course, this is not proven that he's dating. This is not proof. I'm just going on a tangent of what I believe is extremely incorrect. Simply looking at the phone that JK has in the picture, we can obviously tell he's watching something. It doesn't appear like he's in the messages or calling anyone even. Some people felt like this apparently exposed something in the relationship or revealed the truth, when in reality, this looks like an absolute nothing burger. I mean, if this was tea, the tea is so cold, the tea is frozen. There's nothing even to look at here. It's wild that these people put these two photos together without even knowing if this is happening even at the same time. Like when JK was on his phone, was Winter on her phone at the same time? Like we literally don't know any of this stuff and it's just being put together. It's so ridiculous. There have been some people in the community that have been very shocked over what Jimin revealed. Apparently, it was believed that Jimin was spotted playing League of Legends in the Netflix documentary. He apparently admitted to playing 10+ hours of the game during the days he doesn't have to work out or do anything. This is alleged. I have yet to watch the documentary. I'm saving that for the Patreon, but I will let you know if this is actually in the documentary by the time I watch it. But there were people who believed that this is true. And there were some people who said that Jimin is definitely like the rest of us. He can sit there and play games for hours. PC gaming is so addicting to me. Honestly, if I had nothing else to do, I probably would sit there for the rest of my life on a computer and just play games. I would do that if I was retired, I guess. But I definitely have to pull myself away and not do that because I quite literally would be spending way too much time doing that. But obviously these games are so popular because they're so addicting, and people typically do spend 10+ hours. Even if you just spend an hour a day, you're eventually going to hit a really high number that you're just going to be shocked by. Wow, I spent that many hours playing a game. But in my personal opinion, I'm really glad to hear that if Jimin does this, that he does do this, because it's definitely worthy of applause to know that on his off day, he's not on his phone. Of course, being on his computer is a different thing. But when I say on his phone, I mean watching social content, because they're all so famous. All of the BTS boys are so famous that if they were to just scroll on TikTok, they will see something about that. But the algorithm is also weird, because if you like watch your own content or engage with things that are about you, you're eventually going to get served content that is about you. And sometimes that'll be negative. So if a person makes a video talking about how they want to end your life, and you've been commenting or interacting with your own fan club culture content, you're eventually going to get that content that might be really bad, especially on a day where he obviously could spare 10 hours to do something. He could easily be scrolling 10 hours on TikTok. He definitely is going to see something horrible that is said about him in 10 hours. It's rumored that he's the member that receives the most hate and the most dramatic hate. So it's hate that's actually threatening his life. And so if I was him, I would definitely be in the same boat of just not wanting to be online where I could read things that people are saying about me. But also at the same time, being able to take on a character and sort of live a normal life in the game and not be recognized as a celebrity, because I'm sure if people knew his name and his character, they would try to find him or treat him differently. While the community can be shocked about this number, I definitely think that this is very normal. If he were to do something on a day off, he would obviously do this, or he would maybe binge watch like 30 episodes of something, which would equate to the same number anyway. There are people who obviously would say that a K-pop idol should be more productive and not do this, but at the end of the day, relaxing and catching up with your life, especially for someone who is moving really fast, usually is really important. That's productive, right? It really just depends on the person's life. And clearly in Jimin's case, him being happy and doing something like that is going to be productive. It's going to result in other things being done well. There's a clip that's going viral that showed JK walking into what is believed to be his home. Keep in mind, this video is very much just silhouettes. We don't know if this is JK. Quite frankly, this does not look like the outside of his home. And at the same time, the woman that we are seeing in this video, well, we don't even know what that person looks like because we just see silhouettes. The video is rumored to be JK bringing home an alleged new woman that night. And this is quite strange for many reasons. First off, being that if this was indeed JK, why is it not Dispatch? Why is it not these major, huge news sites reporting it? Why is it a fan video cam that's exposing this? Like alleged relationship, this would be something that tabloids would be all over. And here's the thing, Dispatch knows where all the BTS members live. All of the paparazzis know where all the BTS members live because fans know. So how on earth do news sites not know? And yes, I said fans because a lot of fans do know and are choosing just to not show up. Of course, it goes without saying that this obviously is not JK or his alleged girlfriend, but I will say it again, obviously, because people I don't think fully understand that. I think people think that just because someone is kind of like looks like JK or the caption says JK that it must be true. We also live in the day and age where you can ask AI to recreate a video and have it look like old grainy security footage and it will do that for you. And it will look very close to that, if not fully identical. So it's really important to understand that footage can be altered and footage that we are seeing online is not real. And we have to understand what we're looking at. Entertaining these clips, interacting with people who are posting this type of content and making this content is not only going to encourage people to make more of this content, and at the end of the day, how are we still in 2025 and believing random footage that exists online and allowing clips to go viral that we know very well could be AI and things like AI could exist. I feel like that alone should soften the virality of a lot of these things. Like it should just stop people from making things go viral because it makes them double or triple guess on whether something's real or not. But apparently in the K-pop community, a lot of people don't feel that way. And if they see something, their first thought isn't always AI. Their first thought is, oh, let me go ahead and believe it and share it. And then not only that, get extremely angry and write paragraphs and paragraphs of how angry they are. To me, it just seems like people want to do that. It seems like people want to write paragraphs and get angry. For example, I say this all the time to people who are struggling with friends who might betray them or whatever. The friend that you're friends with, let's say here's a rumor about you from someone else, and then they act on that rumor and say that they're not going to be friends with you or whoever it is. In my opinion, that person who is so quick to drop you as a friend, that was never your friend to begin with, obviously. They were just waiting for a reason to drop you. They were waiting for a reason to get angry at you. If you're the type of person who doesn't have to listen to another side of the story, then you don't care about the other side of the story. You were willing to jump to the other side without hearing anything else. And then of course that means that that friend was never on your side. They were never the person that they claimed to be because love isn't like that. Love is unconditional. It doesn't matter what the person does. It doesn't matter how the person acts. You're still gonna love them. That's real love. That's the love that the community often touts that they actually have for the K-pop idols, which by the way is not possible to have that because the relationship is parasocial. But if you're going to claim that, then at least back it up and show that you really do care about the BTS members or JK and stop believing in these things. Let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts. Make sure you check out Patreon. I'll leave a link at the top of the description. Thank you so much for this lovely comment right here. Love you. Bye.